What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are gonna be going back on a 54 Mercury. She's up on the blocks as you see it. On the last video we tried to fit in the engine and my calculations were wrong. It's a little bit too tight by the flanges, by the rails, so now therefore we are going back to the version 2, doing the right way the first time. So here's my beams. I got 2x4s. Last video I said I'm gonna get 2x5s, but I went with the 2x4s, 3/16 wall, which is overkill, but it is what it is. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be kind of chopping off this old design and making a new one. I already braced it up here, as you can see it. Let me open the door up. I know it's hot outside, but let me open the door and kind of explain what's going on here. Alright, this is what I did off camera. I braced it up. As you can see, I triangulated the crap out of it because my goal is not to do the measurements again, because last time we did so many measurements to get where we are here. And looks like we are going to be raising a subframe 3 inches up to avoid, because the subframe was 3 inches lower than the frame. That would have given us like an 8-inch ride height, which was alright, but then it didn't look right and it just doesn't feel right. So anyway, so we are gonna be dropping the frame, actually bringing up the subframe 3 inches, and then we are going to be kind of redesigning this. We're going to be use a frame rails this time to avoid getting so many welds and looking not great, honestly. So this is what I did in the bracing. I triangulated everything. The front I'm not going to be using, but I am using it right now so I can know where my bolts for the bumper are going to line up once I put the frame rails. This is going to be redesigned. Here is how we're going to be doing this. Everything is square to the original frame. So now I have spacers here that are 3 inches, and this is where actually the engine mounts. So what I'm gonna do is, once I chop this off and this off, I'm gonna remove this bolt, and I can literally bolt a subframe up here, and it's gonna be in a position where it's supposed to be. All right, another thing I want to show you guys. The frame is actually braced to the floor and everything is marked. I have all markings on the floor just to make sure the frame doesn't move once we start building frame rails. So let's get to the chopping, and in this video it's going to be one video from start to finish. Alright, well, some people were saying this is heavy, and I kind of do agree. It's probably like 80 pounds, but I do have a 1/4 inch 2x3 pipe that goes right through here inside the 3/16, which was overkill too. So that's why we're going where we're going right now is we are going to go with just square tubing, and we're just going to have a lighter version of that bad boy up here. This frame was sandblasted before. Check out how much sand is in here. Look at that. I gotta vacuum that up too. When you sandblast the car, that thing is always gonna be coming out whenever you like wash it and stuff like that, or blow it with the air. Alright, here is our thing. The frame is still in a position where I marked it. It moved a little bit, but I'll get it back in position. Maybe moved slightly. It's all cut up. Now I just gotta cut up this side and raise up the subframe. I'm gonna have to cut up these guys off too, so we'll play with the frame rail, how it's gonna go. but the main goal is, this is where it was tight, so we do need it to be 29 inches, but we're gonna go with like 30, so we'll be right there. This actually worked out better than I thought. Bringing it up, now it's where I want it to sit. Here is our new, potentially new rail. How is it gonna be? So it's gonna be in that kind of a area. Not sure on this angle yet, because we probably might have to maybe cut a little bit more back, because I was thinking of using this plate, but it looks like I might have to bring a little bit more back. This angle I kind of like, I want to keep it, you know, not too much crazy. This line right here, that's where the body actually sits, and then it kind of starts going this way, so this clears, has no problem. But it's gonna be perfect, because right now when you look at it, it's actually the bottom of the frame as it's supposed to be. Perfect, this is gonna work out. Next thing is I'm gonna be starting to cutting all these rails and marking them up, and then we'll come back to see how they look. Alright, quick update. Here are all my pieces that I pre-cut. Mine is this one. I still need to cut this one because my batteries got too hot. It is hot outside, so this will be cut tomorrow. So only thing left is this piece to cut, that piece to cut, and pretty much we're gonna tack weld it. And I know, like last time somebody said there was a lot of weight, but all the metal that I'm using for the frame rails, it is 2x4 3/16. It's total of 12 feet, and each foot is 6.8 pounds. So do the math, it's not pretty heavy, it's just right. everything has been quadruple measured. Everything is in its place. This is upside down just so I could get my holes and hold everything steady. The holes have been pre-drilled. Everything lines up where it's supposed to be. I tacked it, now I get to weld it, and then later on we'll do fish plating and we're gonna build strut towers. But right now I need to brace more stuff in here. I just grind it down, the weld, and has to fish plate it, and this has to join later because I want to be able to pull this out so I can weld my shock tower to the frame rail, because it's easier than welding vertically or horizontally. So that's the reason why this hasn't been finished there. So but we are gonna be finished welding this right now and then start building a strut tower, and then we're gonna be fish plating everything and calling it done. Big update, the contraption they used to hold subframe is off. Here is the subframe, it's off the car. Here are the frame rails, just bolted in. They're not finally done, they're not finally welded in there, but they are 100% at 0 degrees. And I'm building a strut tower now. I didn't bore you guys with cutting the cardboard, or I'm gonna cut the metal, but I will bring you back once the welding and tack welding comes back on. And I do have like these, which is gonna even make the chassis stronger too, so I'll have to grind that off. This is gonna be all at the end once everything is 100% lined up here. So I want to be able to take this frame rail out and weld that strut tower to the frame rail, because I am not good at welding upside down. So but I will have to do that. But yeah, she is looking really good. I should have done this in the beginning, but here we are. Second time is the charm. we're gonna end this video right here for the sake of the video. I don't know how long has it been going, but I've been tackling this for about 12 weekends, and each weekend I do 12 hours, so I have 144 hours in here. A couple of weekends were skipped, but we're gonna call it good. We got a strut towers built, frame rails done. There's more things to be done in the front, but that's gonna be the end once the bumper starts going on. That area needs to be welded a little bit later. Then now it's like welded, so it holds everything together. Obviously we got a grade 8 bolts also. This you could even almost run it without it, but we're gonna box this in a little bit later, because just in case something goes wrong, but I don't think it will. But yeah, we're gonna call this video good. So next video is gonna be the rear end. We gotta drop the rear end about 3 inches back up to match the front, so the front now is leveled with the bottom of the frame. It's pretty good. I also did some fish plating, grinded these things down. They look pretty good, better than the first version. And obviously there's going to be more things like the frame. The roll cage frame is going to come out through here, kind of match into this. But yeah, so this is pretty much good to go. So I'm gonna turn around and start working on the rear end, because on the rear end is gonna be a lot of cutting all that stuff out too. But yeah, very happy with this. And here is the back to the front view. See all that cross section, looks pretty good. And the reason why it took so long is because measuring and aligning and measuring and leveling, because I don't have a frame table, so everything had to be quadruple every day. Measure, level it out, make sure it's level, and so on. So it was a lot of keeping it square. So if you made this far, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you.